Alrighty, boys. I think we all know the season hasn't gone the way we'd hoped, the way we'd planned, but there's a lot of football left. And the good news is we got some reinforcements on the way, boys. We got some reinforcements on the way. Let's get into it. Alright, Niner fans, welcome back to another episode with your boy Shifty. This one goes out to Niner fans near and far. Today we're talking about the reinforcements that the Niners will be getting back after the bye week, and we'll take a little look ahead to the next few games. The Niners are getting guys back on the offensive side and the defensive side, and we have some winnable games coming up. Some of those games that are coming up, it's going to be week 7 of this schedule. It'll be Indianapolis at home on Sunday Night Football. A very winnable game, I think. Not going to be an easy game by any means. Nothing I think will be easy with this 49ers team, but very winnable. The week after, we go at Chicago against rookie Justin Fields, and I really like this defense's chance to maybe confuse Justin, and I like the chance for the team to come out with a W there. Then we have another big challenge, though, with Arizona coming to Levi Stadium, and that's going to be a big game. It's going to be a real big divisional game, obviously. And yeah, so let's get into some of the players who are out but will be coming back in the next few weeks. So on offense, of course, I mean, maybe our best offensive player, George Kittle. He is going to be out for the Indy game and then out for the Chicago game, but he will be back when we host Arizona, which can't stress how big that is. I thought that obviously the Niners played the Cardinals pretty well last week, and there's a good chance now with Kittle back, with whether it's Jimmy or Trey or whoever the hell starting, the offense will hopefully be in a bit more rhythm and be able to just convert those opportunities. You know, that's what happened twice in the first half, where the Niners got into like a 4th and 1, a 4th and 2, and they kind of blew it and they didn't score any points, which really ultimately hurt the team and hurt our chances of winning that game against Arizona. But we will have Kittle back, and Kittle will have had actually 4 weeks off with the bye week this week, so he should be like rocking and rolling, 100% ready to go. The other player on the offense who really excited to get back, there's actually 2 more, would be, and they're both running backs. So it's JaMycal Hasty. I really like what he brings. He always seems to have like at least a big run or 2 every game. I believe it was against Philadelphia week 2. He had a really nice play, and just consistent, reliable. And it's looking like he might be back probably around Chicago or Arizona, hopefully. Until then, we're probably running with Mitchell and Sermon, which isn't bad, but hopefully Shanahan will actually utilize him a little bit more, because definitely went away from both of those guys, I think, a little bit too early in the last couple of games. The other running back to talk about is going to be Jeff Wilson Jr. That's not going to be for a while, though. It's looking like maybe end of November. I fully hope and expect that the Niners will still be in contention with the next 12 games, the second half of the season, looking a lot more winnable. There's a lot of winnable games in there. So getting him back will be another huge boost to the offense, because we know what he can do when we get the ball in his hands. He's just a real tough runner, just great straight line speed, and so excited to see Jeff Wilson back for sure. Now, if we move on to the defensive side of things, the number one guy who I'm really looking forward to getting back healthy is going to be the linebacker Dre Greenlaw. It was such a bummer how he hurt himself week 1. He had the pick 6, on Jared Goff, returns it for a touchdown. It's a huge play, and then he hurt himself doing that. So definitely a bummer, but it's looking like he'll be back very soon. I remember right after he had that injury that they were saying it's maybe like a 4 to 6 weeks or so. So I like to kind of lean towards like the end of that, so maybe 6 weeks, which you would think maybe like week 7, which would be the home game against the Colts. I would like to think that he'll be in there, but I'm not 100% sure. To be a little bit more cautious, I'll say maybe he's back for the Chicago game, which would be cool, because we'll need him with Justin Fields running around. Greenlaw's got great closing speed and will definitely help out if Fields looks to run the ball. And in general, Greenlaw's just a great player. Him and Warner just play so well together. And I think it's definitely impacted Warner's performance with Greenlaw being out. Although I have to believe that, Al-Shaair has done a great job filling in for Greenlaw. He's made some plays behind the line of scrimmage. He's done some good things. I wonder if Fred Warner is maybe just trying to overcompensate or maybe try and do too much instead of being able to kind of free roam and kind of go with his instincts a little bit more. Honestly, you would think that Warner and Greenlaw have like a better chemistry and communication, and they know where each other are going to be maybe a little bit better than with Al-Shaair. But it's going to be awesome to have Greenlaw back, and especially for those mobile quarterback games. So I think that we'll probably maybe not have him back for the Colts, but then we got Justin Fields and we got Kyler Murray back to back. So having guys like Greenlaw out there is going to be huge for the defense, and hopefully he can make some plays too, because we really need some big plays on defense with turnovers, because so far in 5 games, the defense, we forced 2 turnovers. He's forced 1 of them, and he hasn't played in fucking 4.5 weeks. So, need him back. The second guy who I have to bring up, he's been with the Niners for a number of years now, is K'Waun Williams, the slot cornerback. This whole season, the Niners have just been kind of brutal at cornerback with injuries. Obviously, Verrett, goes down for this season, week 1. Then Josh Norman's been in and out of the lineup. Mosley missed 1 or 2, a couple of games. And then beyond that, it's just the play hasn't been good. We really... cornerback is a big issue for the Niners. Even though I think Norman's okay and Kirkpatrick are okay, but those guys are basically just, pass interference. They're just defensive pass interference penalties just waiting to happen. So not, but it's going to be good to have K'Waun, because he's a guy he can blitz. And I want to say that was something that D'Amico was stressing, and talking about in training camp and what he wants to do with the defense. So we've seen K'Waun do it before, where he can get in those sacks, force fumbles on the quarterback, make interceptions. So I think getting him back and just knowing where to be, who to cover, compared to the Niners now throwing out like Dante Johnson, who, fair enough, had one great play against Arizona, but has had countless plays where he hasn't looked good. And Lenore, I think he has a bright future, but not ready to go just yet. So hopefully, I'm hoping that K'Waun will be back in the next couple of weeks. We definitely need him against Arizona. When you look at that Arizona offense we know all the guys. There's, DeAndre Hopkins, there's Christian Kirk, then you have like the rookie Rondale Moore, AJ Green there. They just added Zach Ertz through a trade. So we'll need all the D-backs that we can get, and it's going to be awesome to have K'Waun back. And then last but not least, a little bit under the radar would be edge rusher Jordan Willis, who we traded for last season. And during preseason, during training camp, Willis was getting rave reviews. He looked really solid. He does make for a good rotational pass rusher. So it's not all just Bosa and Ford. So they can have those plays where it's maybe you have Willis and then you have Ebukam and then you have Arden Key, and they're all rotating and staying fresh. So getting Jordan Willis back is going to be big for the defense. And he was suspended, unfortunately, for the first 6 games, so he definitely won't be playing. He can't play against Indy, but he'll be back against Chicago, and so that'll be another boost to the defense. And, again, if we can get those guys who can force pressure just a couple more times a game, you force the quarterback to throw early, you maybe force him into a mistake, maybe you get that sack, which leads to a fumble. So getting Willis back will just be another nice piece to get back on the defense. That's about that. If there's anyone else coming back or anything else that you think the Niners should do, maybe like trade possibilities, definitely leave some comments, see what I'd be stoked to see what you guys are thinking, what the Niners can do to get better. Yeah, again, I just, I say it every video pretty much, but I love and appreciate the support when you guys watch the videos, when you hit like, and if you leave a comment, that would be awesome. And subscribing to the channel is super cool and super appreciated, and I see every time someone does it, and that's awesome. And I don't really know what else to say beyond that, but thank you for any and all the support. And I really am not trying to be spamming online everywhere when I post it, but I just really want to hear people's feedback and what they think, and just to get their fix and their fill of 49er football. So that's about that for this video. We will have more videos coming up. Of course, the Niners on a bye week, so then there's not a huge amount of news happening. But rest assured, there'll be a preview for the Colts game. We'll maybe talk about some other NFL games going on. And yeah, if anything comes up with the Niners, you know that I will have it covered. And yeah, we will catch you guys on the flip side.